Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Let's wait for another 2 minutes before we start the session. Good evening, teachers. I hope all are doing great. If I am audible and visible to everyone, give us a quick thumbs up in the chat box. Welcome to the 21st Century Educator Workshop with IBM SkillsBuild. Before jumping to the emerging technology session, all are doing great. If I am audible and visible to everyone, give us a quick thumbs up in the chat box. Just a second. So before jumping to the emerging technologies session, let's understand IBM SkillsBuild platform. IBM SkillsBuild is a CSR initiative of IBM. This is a platform where we are offering you thousands of courses free of cost. Today we have with us with Miss Uzma, who will guide us on emerging technology and the latest trends, and Miss Rashmi, who will guide us on the SkillsBuild program, the login process, and the courses available on the platform. So without further ado, I hand over the session to Miss Uzma.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Anjali. I hope I'm audible. Yeah. All right. So I welcome you all the teachers here and a very warm good afternoon to each one of you. We are here to discuss about the emerging technologies of today's era. So let me just share my screen first before I start speaking on this topic. Give me a minute. Yes. So today's topic is all about emerging technologies, right? Let me just share. So my name is Uzma Sardar, and I am a content expert in EduNet Foundation. This presentation is all about emerging technologies, which is reshaping our day-to-day life, right? We are so dependent on all these technologies, and we are taking the most of the advantages of all these things. So we are going to discuss in this particular 1 hour time, what are the different technologies which are most famous nowadays, and how we can take a benefit out of it. And as a teacher, we have to convey the same to our students, right? So we are going to we are going to discuss all these things together, and then we will teach our students how to take the best advantage of all these technologies. Okay, so let's start with the objectives of today's class. I am going to discuss about the most important emerging technology, like what are the most important technologies that you should be familiar with, and we should ask our students also to be familiar with all these things so that we can make our task more productive, more smart, because nowadays it is a days of smart work rather than hard work. So I believe all these technologies are making us work smartly. So we are going to discuss all these technologies. And in that particular things, we are going to start with artificial intelligence, which is the most demanding field nowadays. And we need to understand first what exactly is artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence is a very broad concept. And under its umbrella comes all the emerging technologies. So whichever technologies we are going to discuss today is all under the artificial intelligence. So we are going to discuss about artificial intelligence. We are going to discuss about machine learning, how we can teach all these things to our students with the help of a tools, and what are its applications that we are going to discuss. Also, we are going to discuss a very important concept, that is generative AI, which is a boom today. And it's making a huge impact on our life since the invention of ChatGPT, which is the best example of generative AI. We are going to discuss that also. And we are not going to learn what is ChatGPT, but instead we are going to learn how we can take the best advantage of it. And also why we are learning, so that we can convey the same to the students to take the best advantage of it in their studies or whatever, in their career, any sort of things they can use it in. Then we are going to learn about, or we are going to discuss about IoT, because you all are faculty, even I'm a faculty. I'm not going to say that we are going to learn about all these things, but we are going to discuss, because we all know all these things, but we are just discussing how we can do that with the students. Then we are going to discuss about IoT, that is Internet and Things, and it is again a very important concept, and a little bit of cybersecurity again, because when it comes to internet and everything, cybersecurity plays a very, very important role. Nowadays, cybersecurity, cloud computing, and artificial intelligence are considered as a fourth and fifth revolutionary topics, because it is just changing the way we are working. So these all fields are very important, and we are going to discuss about all these things in the coming slides. Okay. Let's start with, what do you mean by emerging technologies? What is an emerging technology means? Like, what all comes under the emerging technology? So emerging technologies are nothing but that is reshaping the way we are working, correct? So when I say emerging technology, it is nothing but it is reshaping the work we are doing. It is reshaping the task we are doing. It is making us more smarter in terms of work, right? And it covers a wide range of advancement in terms of the way we work, the way we communicate, and the way we interact. Everything has changed because of all these emerging technologies. Now, when you think of ChatGPT, when you think of lot of advancement in the devices nowadays, like the best example we can say is as a smart home. The way we are working, it's completely changing the way we interact with the environment, right? So all these things we are going to discuss in today's sessions. Now let's start with a very basic, what is an artificial intelligence, right? Nowadays, it is very, very important for each one of us, maybe a faculty, maybe a student, maybe in any even I believe a normal housewife should also know what is this field is all about, and how to take the best advantage of this particular field. Because it helps in each and every area of our life. It's not only about the IT people. It's not only about the people who are using gadgets or electronic media or any sort of things. But it is very important for each one of us to understand what is artificial intelligence, what is machine learning, what is deep learning, what is generative AI, and how we can make it best utilize all these things in our day-to-day life. Okay. So I will not going to go in a much detail of artificial intelligence, because definitely this session is not all about artificial intelligence, but I am going to deliver the knowledge, which is a very important or a basic thing each and every student should know when it comes to an artificial intelligence, right? Somehow some students, some faculties here might be having a subject where they have to deliver what is an artificial intelligence, what is a cyber security, what is IoT. I am going to explain you which tools you can use to best explain all these concepts to the students, because we are going to focus on these particular things. And somehow in your coming future classes, you might have to explain all these things to the students. So I am going to focus on the tools that you can use to explain all these emerging technologies to the students, to any sort of age group of the students. It's not only about the school students or college students. You can explain these things to any sort of age group category, and they can take the best advantage of that particular tool to make the work more smarter. So let's start with what is an artificial intelligence. As I told you, artificial intelligence is a very broad concept, in the sense it was coined in 1956. Let me just give me a minute. Yeah. It was coined in 1956 with an intention of making a machine which is as intelligent as human. Okay. So what is an artificial intelligence? The main motto of artificial intelligence is to make a machine which is as intelligent as a normal human, which does all the tasks as a normal human can do. Now, let me just clarify one thing here. Artificial intelligence, or with the help of artificial intelligence, we can create a machine that does a task, or that do a task which a normal human can do. It is impossible to create a machine to do a task which a normal human being cannot do. Every task which we can do, that only can be done by the machine. So the concept of replacing a human is absolutely wrong, because we are the one which are creating such kind of a machines. And these machines can only do the task which we as a human can do it. But yes, might be that tasks are more monotonous, that tasks are more repetitive in nature, which help us to save our time and sort of things. But yes, a machine cannot replace a human. Okay. So artificial intelligence is coined with an intention that let's create a machine where it will act like a human, or it will perform all the tasks like a normal human can do. Now, when this thinking process comes into picture, then there are a lot of things comes, like how to create that machine. So let's take a normal example, how these people are thinking, like whoever has coined the artificial intelligence, that people or that scientists, how they are thinking to make a machine. Let's take this with the help of an example. Suppose, for example, there is a kid of, suppose I'm taking a very basic example, 2-year-old. Okay, 2-year-old child. And I want to I want to make this child understand how to brush the teeth. Okay, so how to brush the teeth. Now, this child doesn't have any knowledge. Okay, he doesn't have any knowledge of how to do a brushing. Okay, now who is conveying that knowledge to this child? A normal human, right? Maybe in terms of parents, grandparents, sister, sibling, whatever it is. Okay, now suppose, for example, suppose a mother is teaching a child like how to brush her teeth. She is just telling her or him the steps, like 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the steps that you have to follow if you have to clean your teeth daily in the morning. So this process is called, acquiring the knowledge. Okay, now what this child is doing, this child is acquiring the knowledge. Okay, a knowledge or the information or the data, you can say. This is nothing but the data, right? Step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. Or in general term, we call it as the algorithms as well. Now, if you know, like in computer field, everything like steps, we call it as an algorithms, right? Now, whenever I am saying that this data, because I have a data with me, like I've been taught like how to do the brush. This is my historical knowledge. This is my historical data. I'm conveying the same to my child that this is how you have to follow the steps. Now the child is in the process of acquiring the knowledge. Now on the second day, the child is going to, what he going to do? He going to repeat the process. Okay. Now that means he is applying that knowledge, right? He's applying the knowledge, whichever I am sharing, whichever I have already shared with him. So might be, there may be a chances that while applying the knowledge, 1, 2, 4, 3, these are the steps that he must have performed, or he must have performed 1, 2, 3, 4. There may be a chances the accuracy level is 100%. That means he is intelligent enough to acquire and apply that knowledge, or 80% correct. Maybe a chances. Okay. So this is all about acquiring the knowledge and applying the knowledge. And this is what we follow in our day-to-day life. I have just taken an example of one thing. You can just take an example of explaining the child how to add two numbers. In everything, there are two concepts involved. One is acquiring and applying. Now, the people or the scientists thought the same thing to do with machine and apply the knowledge, and machine will going to acquire that knowledge. Applying and acquiring the thing is called intelligence. That we call it as an intelligence. And why we call it as an artificial? Because it is made by human. It's not by nature. Machine cannot apply the knowledge and acquire the knowledge. It has to be, by human. So that is the reason it is known as artificial intelligence. And hence the term coined artificial intelligence, where people start acquiring, people start giving a knowledge to the machine, and knowledge is working, or a machine is working on that particular knowledge or that particular data. And how do we ask to do same thing to the machine is with the help of a machine learning, that we call it as an algorithms, these steps. That means if I have to make my machine intelligence, I have to pass certain steps to the machine that do this, do this, do this, and do this. And when machine does all these things, then we call it as an algorithm, applying an algorithm. And when a machine understands the algorithm, it follow the same steps. Okay. And this algorithms is nothing but the instructions that we give to a machine, right? We give an instruction to a machine. This instruction is given in a language called Python. Generally, in artificial intelligence, the most famous language, computer language, is nothing but a Python. And in terms of Python language, giving an instruction to a machine, and a machine is understanding that language and applying the same and performing a task, is nothing but an artificial intelligence. Okay, so this is all about the artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is nothing but making the machine intelligence. Now, how to make a machine intelligence? By applying an algorithms, to perform the steps. And what is an algorithm? These are nothing but the steps. If I want to create a robot which should stand in front of my restaurant and say hi and open the door to the guest, then these are the steps that I have to write down in that particular machine. And when I write down that instruction in my machine will going to repeat the same thing. Maybe first time it will repeat, it will do the things with 80% accuracy. Then I have to keep on gradually training, keep on training. And then one day comes when it gives me the 99% accuracy, because it is all about training the machine, right? So this is what is all about artificial intelligence and machine learning, right? So now machine learning, actually machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. That is what I said. Artificial intelligence is a very broad concept. It is not like a simple thing. It is a broad concept under which comes all these things like machine learning, deep learning, and generative AI. Now let's come what is deep learning. So machine learning, what in machine learning, what we are doing, we are just passing the instruction to the machines, and machine is taking the machine is performing exactly the same I want it to perform. It is not at all changing anything. Like if I said perform 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, it will going to perform 1, 2, 3, 4. There, it will not going to do any changes into that. Like suppose suppose for example, I want my kid to learn how to sketch. Okay, sketch, how to sketch any drawing or anything. So what I want my child to do is, I want my child first, when I start making him learn how to sketch a particular face, then I will give an example like this is the face that you have to start sketching. Like suppose he is on an initial stage of learning, he's going to start sketching just by looking at the example sketch. That is called a machine learning, where I have an example and I'm going to sketch the same way. Now, what is a deep learning? I'm going to remove that thing from the uh, process. What I'm going to do is, I want my child to sketch anything. Anything means I want my child to sketch any face. I'm not going to give him an example, like sketch like this or that. I'm just going to tell him, like, sketch a face of a small baby. So that is called a deep learning, where I don't want my kid to rely on the steps. Take your own decisions based on the data, based on your knowledge. Take your own decisions. That is what my expectation from the child, and that is what a deep learning is. That is what the expectation of a scientist from the machine, that take your own decisions. I have given you the data. Now it's I am giving you full liberty to take the advantage of all the data and do whatever you want. I want the result, something like this. I want a result of a sketch of a baby. That's it. I'm not going to interfere in any of the steps. That is a deep learning. And what is a generative AI? Now I want my child to draw something new, which is not in existence. Something new. I'm going to be more specific, like draw a girl with this color dress or that color eyes, or, you have to generate from the data. That is called generate something which is not in existence. Suppose, for example, I want to draw, if I ask my child to draw a sketch of Amir Khan. Amir Khan is real in existence. But if I ask my child to draw any face, whichever you want, then the face which will come is a completely combination of multiple faces from his knowledge. That is what a generative AI is. And that is what we are doing today. We want machine to generate the things for us. I am going to ask my machine just to create a video for me, which will have a dog and a cat dancing in a rain. So I am providing the text, my machine is generating that thing, and how it is generating from the data that we have given in the time at the time of training. That is all about artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and generative AI. All right. Now, if I have to explain all these things to my students, how do I explain? That is the most important challenge. Now, I want to explain my student what is a machine learning. Now let's understand how to explain the student this emerging technology, what is machine learning, with the help of a tool that we call it as a teachable machine. Okay. Now I'm going to open a teachable machine in front of you. So this is a teachable machine, or this is the platform which we are using for understanding what exactly the machine learning is. Okay, so let's start with here. I have to off my camera from here. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Okay, so now if you see here, you can teach your machine either on images, you can teach your machine either on audio, you can teach your machine either on pose. That means you can just pass any information, any data to your machine, and you can teach your machine to identify what exactly the data is. Now let's take an example of a audio project. Okay. Now, there is one label that is called background noise. Okay, in the background noise label, it's by default there. You can change it here as well. Okay, now the second label, maybe we can just give a sound of a clapping. Okay, now this is my second. This is a background noise. This is a clapping sound. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I am going to take an example of a background noise where I'm just going to tab my desk. Okay, and I'm going to say that this is now I'm giving a data to my machine. So I'll just open my microphone and I'm going to record the sound of the background for 20 seconds. Okay. Okay. All right, just a minute. I didn't, just give me a minute. Here I have to click on extract samples. Okay, now I have recorded the background noise for 20 seconds. Now the second thing that I want to pass is a sound of clapping. Now let me just do that. The duration it is, let's say, suppose I will make it at 10 seconds. Okay. Okay, now once it is done, I will extract. And now what I have done here is, this is what our data is. And this is what we are passing to a machine. Okay. Now, internally, whenever I will just ask the machine to train the model, okay, whenever I'll say train the model, what is happening here is internally, there are certain algorithms that are applied. Now, what are the algorithms? Algorithms are nothing but the steps, okay? Now, there are certain algorithms, instructions, which is passed to the computer, and the computer will going to make the prediction whether the sound is a background noise or a clapping sound. Okay. Now, if I click on training, then it is saying that preparing training data. That means what? Whenever I will pass the data, now what I can do is, see, now I can check. Now, if you see here, whenever I'm clapping, it goes to 100%. And whenever I'm making this sound, my background will move to 100% because I'm speaking as well. That's the reason. Now I'll not speak and I'll just click. Now see, it comes to 100%. Now this is what a machine learning is. Now here you can take the example, you can take the advantage of this particular platform to make the student understand what exactly the machine learning is and how exactly we pass the data, what do you mean by training the model, and how the computer get trained on. Now with the help of this, if your student know what is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, I'm just taking an example. If the student know all these things, then you can use this particular link. Okay, I have just clicked on the export model. When I click on export model, I have to click on upload my model. Now this will create a link for you. Now this link you can use in your HTML to create a web page. I have seen my students created a security app where they have captured the image of or video of a child sleeping in a room. Okay, whenever the child is not there, okay, I mean the it if the child is not there at that particular location, it will generate a beep sound. Now they have loaded the images, and with the help of this only, they have created this kind of a surveillance app. So you can ask your student to create. Now, nothing as such, you don't need to ask them how to do a machine learning with the help of a coding. right? For the school students, you can take the advantage of this to just to make them understand what exactly the machine learning is. So what is the machine learning? Machine learning is nothing but giving a data to a machine and then giving a process how to identify what is which label. These we call it as a label, is whether it is a background noise or a clapping. This kind of a problem is called classification problem because we are trying to classify whether it is this or that, right? So with the help of this simple app, you can explain a lot of machine learning terms to the students. Okay, so this is all about machine learning. Now, again, there is, let me just come back here. Okay, now with the help of this particular tab, you can explain them what exactly the teachable machine is, what exactly the machine learning is, what exactly the artificial intelligence is. There are a lot of terms that you need to make the students understand what is data, what is training, what is accuracy level. Now, if you see here, this is showing as 100%, 70%. So that is also, we call it as an accuracy level. So it is very difficult for us to make the student understand the terminologies of these concepts. So it become easy for you with the help of this simple app. You can explain them what exactly the terminologies are. Now, where we are using AI and ML in a in fact, in each and every online applications nowadays, there is a use of artificial intelligence. You can take an example of, you know, translator, a simple example where we are just translating a one language to another. We are just passing one particular sentence and we can translate it into any language, any sort of language. It's not about only English, Hindi, or German. You can take any sort of language and you can ask your computer to translate it in the another language. Siri, these all are the best example of assistant, Google assistants, right? So they can help you perform a lot of tasks just by asking them to do it. When you ask your, if you know, there is a one app in Windows, Cortana. The name of the app is Cortana. When you open that app in your computer, you can ask the Cortana to set an alarm, to give a reminder. It will going to set an alarm for you for a particular task. When you are working, suppose your example, you have a lecture at 10 o'clock and you want to ask your computer to give an alarm because you're working on some other project. So it will going to give you an alarm. So it is as simple. You can make your work more productive, more interactive, more smart when you are using all these tools. So in day-to-day life, everywhere, whichever app you take an example, you are using nowadays artificial intelligence and machine learning, though it is a translator app, though it is a assistant, though it is a chat GPT kind of app where we are using a natural language processing concept, though it is a Tesla car, a driverless car, right? So everywhere we are using all these kind of technologies, emerging technologies in our day-to-day life. Okay. Now, if you see about a driverless car, how does it work? It works on the sensors. Now there are sensors mounted on the top, on the rear side, on the front side, on the rear side of this particular car, and it is taking the data. Again, your data plays a very important role. It is taking the data from the surroundings. And then if there is a data, like if there is a car in front of it, then we're going to brake. Then if there is a traffic signal, red light, then it will going to brake, green light. All these things are feeded. All these things are designed inside this car. Okay. So this is all about the use case of artificial intelligence. Now, there are a lot of tools. The one which I have explained, teachable machine, is one tool. Apart from that, there is another tool that we call it as a quick draw. Again, this helps the students to understand how the machine learning works. Okay. Now here I will give you an example of quick draw. So this is a simple app which student generally likes a lot. And this is a game actually. And with the help of a game, you will understand, you make them understand how the computer is making the decision. So I will just show you this app to you. So what is this app is all about? Now, this is called as a doodle art. Okay. Quick draw is completely based on the doodle art. Now, what is a doodle art? This is called a doodle art. which we generally draw for the, when we are free, just we keep on drawing something on a pen or a table or something like that, that we call it as a doodle art or doodling. So this all doodle art, this particular website, okay, this particular website is trained on all such doodle arts. And what it will going to do, it will ask you to draw something, and then whenever it will, let me just show you an example. Now it is asking me to draw a vase, okay? So in 20 seconds, now I am going to draw a vase, okay? And what it will going to do is, it will going to compare my vase with the doodle art which is stored. Now we have already explained the students what is teachable machine. With the help of teachable machine, you will explain them what is how do we feed the data to a machine. So when we feed it the data and what we are drawing now, this will be act as an input, and that will be compared with the stored data. And when it compared, it will going to check if it is the same or exactly it's matching with an accuracy. Then it will going to give you the output. Let me just show you. I'll just draw a vase. And now here the timer is. I'm going to draw a vase.
I see bread. Or pond. Oh, I know. It's vase.
Now see, it's saying it's vase, right? So vase, vase, whatever, however you pronounce it. So this is how it works. Now it will give you the points as well, like out of 6, how many points you have, got. How out of 5, how many of you correctly predicted. At the end, it will give you all the 6 images, the way you draw it, and how exactly it was stored in a computer. So it's a very beautiful app to explain them to explain to the students how all these things are working. Okay, so this is about quick draw. Now every one of you know what is a Scratch. Scratch is a platform. It's a block based coding system, right, where we don't need to write anything. We have to just drag and drop the blocks, and it's a very beautiful platform designed by MIT. And with the help of that, there are a lot of easy way. It's in a very simple way you can explain to the students how coding works, like though it could be a for loop, though it could be a if else, any concept. If you want to explain related to the computer, you can explain it to the students with the help of a Scratch. Apart from that, there are other platforms like Google AI Education, Kaggle, TensorFlow Playground, Collaboratory. Now, all these things are very important in explaining what is deep learning. Like TensorFlow Playground. TensorFlow Playground, when you search on the Google, let me just show you Tensor. It's a playground. So when you search TensorFlow Playground, again, with the help of this particular platform, lot of deep learning terminologies can be explained very beautifully to the students. Now, if you want to explain what is epoch in deep learning, what is neurons in deep learning, what are the features in deep learning, all these things you can very beautifully explain with the help of this particular platform. Okay. Now, deep learning is again an emerging technology where we ask the machine to learn from the data. We are just going to pass you the data. You have to learn from the data the way you want it. We are not going to instruct you that this is how you have to do it. It's completely on the machine. It has to take the data and it will give the output. Now, what will happen? I'll just explain it here. Now, in machine learning and deep learning, what is the difference is what is happening in machine learning and deep learning. Now, in machine learning, what is happening? We are giving a steps to the computer. These are the steps that you have to follow. But in deep learning, we are not giving any such kind of a steps. Okay, we are just giving a data to a machine. Now, based on that data, computer is deciding what all are the important factors in this particular data. Now, computer has decided 1, 2, 3, 4. These we call it as a factors or features. Okay. Now, computer has decided these are the important factors from the data, and then computer will give you the output. Now, if the output is correct, Good. If it is not, then we back propagate it. Back propagate is, that means what? Computer will going to repeat the same. Now this time the computer will going to change again the steps. Now again, now this way it will keep on doing the back propagation, that the whole thing, that is right from starting to the end, giving the output. It's called as one epoch. This we call it as a epoch. Now it may take 1,000 epochs to give the correct answer. It may take 10,000 epochs to give the correct answer. So it is completely depend on the data. Okay, so this is what a deep learning is. And when you have to explain this concept to the students, there are different terminologies that you have to explain, and that you can explain with the help of this platform, very simple, very easily. All right. Again, there is a website called Kaggle, with the help of which we can uh, ask the student to extract. Now, data, we all are, whenever it is an artificial intelligence, the more important is data. And from where do I get the data? From this particular site. That is, we call it as a Kaggle. So all these things are very important if you want to make the student understand the importance of data and how to get the data. Then you can utilize these all tools to make them understand what is machine learning and what is artificial intelligence. Now let's come to the generative AI. As I told you, generative AI is something where it is generating something new. Something new it is generating. It's which is not in existence. Okay, which is not in existence, and it is generating, like suppose for example, I'll ask a Google. Suppose for example, I'll ask a Google cat images. Then from where the Google is giving me the cat images, the images which is uploaded by us as well. Like we uploaded some images on the Facebook, or there are a lot of media, there are a lot of ways we upload, keep on uploading the images on the internet. And Google is taking the images from there and showing it to you, right? It's nothing like it's generating itself the image of a cat. It is just the images which is uploaded by a human. The Google is showing you that images. But what is generative AI? There now we have certain apps which is actually creating the new image instead of, suppose for example, now say suppose for example, there is a, I want to create an image of a cat and a dog dancing in a rain. Maybe this might not be in existence, but what the app is doing, taking the data from the machine and creating a new image specified by us. That is what a generative AI is, right? And in generative AI, what is the main brain behind the generative AI? Like how the generative AI is working. The main brain behind the generative AI is the model, that we call it as a model. Now there are two models in it. One is LLM model, that we call it as a large language model or large visual model. Large language model is completely based on the text. Large visual models is based on the images and all those stuff, audio, video. So a chat GPT is a best example of large language model. Okay, chat GPT. And I know most of you must be familiar of what is exactly chat GPT is, right? There is one more model that we call it as a LVM, that is large visual model, where 1,000 million billions of images are stored. In this, only the text is stored. In this, the images are stored. And there are certain models in which both text and visuals are stored. And the best example of that is Gemini. Now, again, this Gemini is the latest innovation of Google. After ChatGPT, now Google is a Google, right? ChatGPT came into picture maybe in 2019. Google observed it and then come up with Gemini, with all the drawbacks of ChatGPT covered in this. Whatever a ChatGPT cannot do, all that task is done by the Gemini, apart from what a ChatGPT can do. Whatever a chat GPT can do, the same thing a Gemini can also do with an advancement, because obviously creating a copy doesn't make any sense, but still it is quite underrated. Gemini, Google Gemini is a very, very important innovation in nowadays, which help you generate the data. Now let me just show you the difference between a chat GPT and Gemini. Now this is my chat GPT. Now there are two versions of chat GPT here, 3.5 and 4. Now if you want to take an advantage of 4, you have to pay $20 per month. But a lot of things which you want can be easily done in the 3.5 as well. Now let me show you the difference between both. Okay, the first difference is absolutely simple. ChatGPT does not work on the real-time data. That means what if I ask my ChatGPT what is the temperature for today? It will not going to give you the today's data. It will only give you the data till the time on which it is trained on. Like, let me just show you here. What's the temperature today in just what's the temperature today in Pune? Now, if I search this, this will going to say you that I'm sorry, I'm not aware of the real-time data information, but this is not the case with Gemini. Gemini is work on the real-time data. Like if you ask what's the temperature for today, in Pune, the Gemini will going to give you the exact temperature. Gemini was previously called as a Google Bard as well. Now it has changed its name to Gemini. Okay. So when I say what's the temperature today, see, with the help of an image, it gives you a temperature currently in Pune. All right. Now this is the basic difference. Again, if I ask ChatGPT, now this is what I feel is the most drawback of the ChatGPT is if I ask a simple question also to the ChatGPT, let me just ask this question to ChatGPT. I want to create a message. Now, as a faculty, you can use it in a very beautiful way that write a message to the students to join the Zoom call on time, as we are going to cover a very important concept on AI. Now, I want to type a message to my student that to join a Zoom call on 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, this will going to cover this. Now, if I ask the same question to ChatGPT to create a message for me, see what ChatGPT will going to create. It will going to give you a long story. It will going to give you, it will not always ChatGPT gives you the answer in terms of long answers. But Gemini understand what exactly your preference is. Now see the Gemini answer. So that is what I'm saying. All the drawbacks of ChatGPT are covered in Gemini. So when you definitely it takes a little time as it is completely based on the real-time data. Now see how beautifully it is designed, only the message. That is a reminder on a Zoom call start time. So instead of, if you see the result of both, there is a difference, right? Apart from that, there are a lot of other features. Like here, you can, instead of typing, you can just speak. In here, you can put in images as well. But in ChatGPT, it's not possible. And if you want that, you have to use 4 version of ChatGPT, which is a paid version. Okay. Again, in terms of feedback, if you can give the feedback to it in terms of this, you can just ask ChatGPT that this is Gemini that I got. I mean, whatever the reply you got, whether you liked it or not, you can copy the reply, and then here you can make the ask the Gemini to make it more shorter. So it will make it more shorter. If you ask it to make it more longer, it will make it more longer. So this way, see how beautiful it is making more shorter, but that is not the case with ChatGPT. That is what a advancement in Gemini, and that is offered by the Google. So again, with the help of this tool, that is ChatGPT or a Gemini, whatever you want to use, you can make it a more productive work. Even you can ask your students to take the help of this. They can ask, if certain topics are difficult for them to understand, they can ask the ChatGPT or Gemini to make it in a more simple way. In a more simple way, explain me what is artificial intelligence. I am 12-year-old and I don't know what is artificial intelligence. Explain me in a simple way. And a very simple way with the images and all those stuff. All these tools are giving a result. You don't need to go to Google, search different links and all those stuff. You can take these tools example, and these tools help to make your task more smart. This is all about generative AI, where we have taken an example of what we call it as ChatGPT or Gemini, right? So large language model is nothing but a collection of large pool of text. Okay, so there are large amount of text which is feeded, and we can take that large language model, and we can design an app on it. Now, all these large language model designing takes a lot of money, lot of resources. So there are countable companies who have their own LLM models like OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, that we call it as a Meta. So all these are the few famous companies which have their own LLM models. We as a normal human or a normal company owner or a normal IT professionals cannot create a large language model because it need an access to large amount of data. If I have to create a pool of knowledge, then I have to access internet data, a large amount of server data, which is a very costly affair. Okay, so all these things are there in large language model. I have shown you what is the difference between Gemini and ChatGPT. Now, obviously, there are a lot of use cases. Like there are a lot of ways you can utilize this generative AI in all the domains. Like you can create your own images, you can create your own videos, it help you to generate a text. Like I have just given an example how we are generating the text. Same way, you can create your own music as well. So if the students are interested in this particular field, there is an app which help them to create. They will pass one string, the generative AI will going to create another string for them. Like they will going to generate a next string for them. So even if you are interested in any sort of fields, you can take the advantage of generative AI because generative AI apps are in all the fields. Even you can design a video game. You can video synthesis. Now, again, this is a very famous application nowadays because people are earning in lakhs just with the help of a chat GPT by creating a videos on the YouTube. I'll just give you an example here. On a YouTube, you must find there are a lot of videos which you have observed. Let me just show you this. Yeah. So this is what I have created. What I have given here is I have just given the text, and this will going to create a video for me. Now, if I have to upload or I have to create a channel on the YouTube, I don't need to worry about how do I have to speak, what will be my background, how do I have to say. What I have to do is I have to just pass the knowledge, and this will going to create a video for me, for you. Just let me just show you. I'll just play this.
Hi, I'm Uzma. I'm an AI avatar created entirely by artificial intelligence. I hope you are enjoying the session conducted by EdgeNet Foundation today. Give me a high five and keep learning.
Now, in this video, what I did is I just passed the knowledge, and everything is taken care by the artificial intelligence. So the students can use these apps as well. Now, if you see on the YouTube, there are a lot of English related channels. There are a lot of Japanese related channels. Like if you want to learn Japanese, then they have created such kind of a videos to make a conversation between the two people. Basic Japanese, advanced Japanese, basic English, advanced English. So people are earning money from all these by utilizing all these things in terms of artificial intelligence and generative AI concept. So you can explain the students like what is the advantage and importance of artificial intelligence and how you can without coding. I didn't use a single line of code so far. So even if you don't know anything, even if you're a school student, you can best utilize all these things just by understanding the thing. Even as I told you, it is for every category of people. It is not only for the students. It will be for every category of the students. Okay. So this is what all about generative AI, artificial intelligence, and what you can say, deep learning, machine learning, and all those stuff. Now, there is one more emerging technology that we call it as an IoT. Now, what is an IoT? IoT is nothing but, now, previously what used to happen is, because of the internet connectivity, we used to communicate with each other, like a person-to-person communication. And this internet is available only on the desktop or a simple mobile phone or something like that. But nowadays, what is happening is, internet is available on each and every device. Even in your TV, there is a connection to an internet. Even in your AC, there is a connection to internet. And with the help of this, what is happening? Your environment become more smart. Now, suppose, for example, you kept your AC on and you went for, you pass halfway to your college, and suddenly you remember that your AC is on in the, and you didn't off it. So what you will do? You will go back and off the AC, or is it better to access it on a mobile phone? We are nowadays are accessing each and every device on a mobile phone. Just take another example. Alarm, just when your alarms, rings, your curtains automatically opens up, and maybe, your geyser machine gets on. All these things are a best example of Internet and Things, right? Because nowadays, every machine is connected to internet. So before I explain you anything about Internet and Things, I request you all to watch this video to understand what is IoT nowadays and how we are taking the advantage of this IoT field.
By now, you may have heard the term Internet of Things. Sounds interesting, but what does the Internet of Things actually mean? IoT is an evolution of mobile, home, and embedded applications that are being connected to the internet, integrating greater compute capabilities and using data analytics to extract meaningful information. Billions of devices will be connected to the internet, and soon, hundreds of billions of devices. As related devices connect with each other, they can become an intelligent system of systems. And when these intelligent devices and systems of systems share data over the cloud and analyze it, they can transform our businesses, our lives, and our world in countless ways. Whether it's improving medical outcomes, creating better products faster with lower development costs, making shopping more enjoyable, or optimizing energy generation and consumption. Here's an example of the big picture. Imagine an intelligent device such as a smart traffic camera. The camera can monitor the road for congestion, accidents, and weather conditions, and communicate that status to a gateway that combines it with data from other cameras, creating an intelligent citywide traffic system. Now, imagine that intelligent traffic system connected to other citywide transportation systems, which get data from their own intelligent devices, creating an ever larger intelligent system of systems. The really big possibilities come from analyzing the end-to-end data across that system of systems. For example, let's say the city's intelligent traffic system detects massive congestion due to an accident. That insight can be sent to the citywide transportation system, which can analyze the accident's impact on other city systems. Recognizing the accident is near the airport and 2 city schools, it could notify those systems so they can adjust flight and school schedules. It can also analyze and derive optimal routes around the accident and send those instructions to the city's digital signage system to guide drivers around the accident. And that's just one example of the potential benefits that can happen when intelligent devices share insight with other systems, forming ever-expanding systems of systems. But how do we get there?
So from this video, you understood that how we are utilizing, knowingly, unknowingly, we are surrounded by all these smart technologies, right? And we are surrounded by all these technology because of this internet. And with the help of this, you will able to work smartly. You can adjust each and everything very smartly. Smart home is the best example of IoT. So this is what all about IoT. And again, the last important concept that related to emerging technology is all about cybersecurity. Obviously, we are, surrounded by the internet. We are using the data. We are passing our own personal data. We are sharing the data with the internet. Knowingly, unknowingly, lot of things are shared with the over the internet, right? So security of all your devices and what to share, what not to share, what to upload, what not to upload is a very important thing when it comes to cybersecurity. And it is very important for each and every student to understand how this is important and what impact it will going to make on your device. Nowadays, you might have seen a lot of examples of small students facing a problem of losing amount in terms of games, like they are using their parents' mobile and they are playing an online game and they don't even know like the money is cutting from the bank, or there is a amount get deducted from the bank, just by not knowing the importance of all these things. So cybersecurity is again a very important, play a very important role, and each and every student should be aware of what do you mean by firewall, what do you mean by antivirus software. Every student should know that what is the role of antivirus software in our computer, what is the role of firewall, like how it blocks the unnecessary sites, the sites which which gives a wrong impact, or which will going to impact your computer device, or which will going to impact your files in the computer or in a mobile phone. Then that firewall going to block that data, and all those stuff student needs to be very clear with. You can explain them all these things with the help of these tools. Like there are 4 tools I have mentioned here, but there are a lot of other online tools also. These tools helps you make you understand if your Gmail is hacked. Like have I been on this particular link will help you, or this particular platform will help you understand if your Gmail got hacked, or if you whatever down, like these particular tools like virus to total or shutdown. These all are helpful tools for knowing whether whatever you are downloading is doesn't have any virus into it. So there are a lot of online tools and plugins which they can use to make their computer secure. Shutdown is like a firewall. When you install this plugin into your computer, it will going to block all the unnecessary ads, all the sites which gives a lot of people have already faced a lot of problems with that particular sites. So that kind of things can be blocked with the help of this particular software. So again, cybersecurity is a very, very important topic to help your information, personal information, because we are surrounded by the internet. We have to share the information over the day, over the internet. And this is a very important technology that every student should be aware of, before utilizing any software onto the computer. That's it from my side. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the chat section. I will hand over the session to Rashmi ma'am so that she can explain you a little of IBM platform. How do you access the courses on the IBM platform and all those stuff. So the main intention of this class is to make you aware of how you can teach all these topics to your students, and how these topics are very, very important in terms of understanding, because nowadays, because of the technologies, everything is very open, and you should know about the cyber security. You should know how to utilize the softwares and all those stuff. Okay, thank you so much for joining in for the session, and I will hand over the session to Rashmi ma'am.
Thank you so much, Uzma ma'am. I hope I'm audible and visible to everyone. Give me a quick thumbs up on the chat so that I know that I'm visible and audible to people. My name is Rashmi and I'm from EduNet Foundation. So here we are after knowing about emerging technology from Uzma ma'am. Yes, Uzma ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, Rashmi ma'am, you are audible.
Thank you so much. All right, so let's go ahead and find out what exactly IBM SkillsBuild platform is all about. So here, what we are wanting to know that IBM is actually an initiative of IBM Corporate Social Responsibility, which is CSR. So function and design for building IBM SkillsBuild for young students and educators, just to equip them with skills which are relevant to the digital era and the marketplace. So it addresses basically a holistic need for Indian learners and offers top skills that our employers ask for. With respect to all the future skills, obviously, now there are many platforms that support vocational and trade skills, but very few that address the top soft skills or the technical skills requirement for the industry. SkillsBuild offers learners and educators a direct access to the digital learning resources, which is free of cost and in various training specializations. So it provides a great way of jumpstart career exploration for students, which could be like from grade 6 to grade 12. Also, digital credentials and badged courses. The program also offers courses on latest technical skills like AI, blockchain, data science, in addition to professional skills like communication, presentation skills, design thinking, and many more. The vast ranges of courses offered also includes topics like sustainability or equity. Now, unconscious bias that provide an engaging and intriguing learner experience for its user. Let me just make you watch a quick video here, which is an official video from IBM SkillsBuild. Allow me a minute while I just reshare my screen. Have a good watch for this video and we'll come back soon. Stay tuned with us on this.
In today's economy, jobs require skills, not just
I really
degrees.
hope that the audio is
Jobs
there
have changed
for
faster
the
than the
video.
industry can follow.
Give me a
creating
quick
gap
thumbs up
between
on the
work
chat.
demand and the availability of skills. Closing the skills gap is the most significant opportunity of the decade. We're taking bold action to achieve this through our commitment to skill 30 million people globally by 2030. IBM SkillsBuild is a free education program focused on underrepresented communities that helps high school and university students, educators, and adult learners develop valuable new skills and access career opportunities. The program includes an online platform complemented by customized practical learning experiences delivered in collaboration with a global network of partners. Students can start learning at any time or on their own with built-in resources for educators. IBM SkillsBuild's free online content aligns with high-demand job roles to provide future-fit skills. The program offers over 1,000 online courses and digital credentials to its more than 2 million users. Stacked credentials provide verified data to employers and pathways to a degree. Are you a student looking to learn about emerging technologies and workplace skills aligned to in-demand jobs? IBM SkillsBuild can help you get there with product-agnostic content that will expose you to the skills and trends of the future economy, all with teacher support and Watson technology to facilitate discovery, provide recommendations, and track progress. Are you an adult learner looking to develop job skills to help you land a job? IBM SkillsBuild has you covered with our Career Insights assessments and our community where you can engage with coaches and industry professionals, all for free. Take control of your future. Explore IBM SkillsBuild today.
Okay, so that was all about IBM SkillsBuild. Now let us understand how we are going to log into the platform. I'm just quickly sharing my screen with you. Allow me just a moment. I hope my screen is visible. Yes. So what are the benefits here with this platform are? So what exactly IBM SkillsBuild? We just told you through this video watch. The platform offers distinctive courses for educators and students. It has direct access to the digital learning resources. Also, it's a great way to upskill for various technical or communication skills, which are non-technical or called as workplace skills. What else does it offer to us are the key features for this platform. It is basically a self-paced learning platform, so very easy to navigate, and the content is also very easy. More than 8,000 courses are available, which are basically advanced or basic level, and there are of varied duration. For example, if a learner has approximately 3 or 4 hours of learning, so he or she can just distinguish those hours for the self-paced. There is no hand holding here. So we have mental ed sessions wherein actually we can just go ahead and continue with the sessions. So various certifications and digital badges and credentials are offered along the completion of the courses. You can claim these certifications after you have completed the course. There are project-less learning-based boot camps or marathons or hackathons, which are available from Ajnet Foundation as well. Now, what exactly we aim here for our teachers here? because we want all the professional development for our teachers. That's what the 2030 skilling is all about. Now, let's go and understand the procedure of login at the IBM platform. The IBM platform will be like available on your Google browsers. You just need to type skillsbuild.org. The very first recommendation that it shows along with that, hit enter on that immediately. Once you hit enter, you will be on the home page of IBM SkillsBuild. On the top right corner, you will be able to see the login tab. Click on login and you will be landed to a quadrant, which will be high school domain. So high school student domain, you need to click on that. Once you click on that, click on another option of login, which gets enabled. It offers you logging in with various options here. The very first recommendation, login with Google, you need to opt. You have to do this along with your Gmail ID, which you have submitted to us for onboarding. Once your ID gets onboarded, you will be able to smoothly log in with your Gmail default passwords. Once that is done, a welcome page will be offered to you with the default language for English, for which you need to just click on next. Once that is done, a profile page will be offered, which will be offering you to find out your areas of interest. You can always check them or just recheck them as per your interest. Click on continue and then your profile will be made. Make sure that your name and your email IDs are correct because these names would be actually listed on your certifications. Once that is done, you can proceed to the IBM SkillsBuild platform. It asks you about skipping the tutorial or begin the tutorial. So always skip the tutorial. You need not begin the tutorial. You are there on the SkillsBuild platform. Now there are different options by which you can search the courses. This can be search box. This can be the search icon or the profile icon. Different course catalogs are there to show the learning pathways. As you can see, you can just go ahead and search the courses. Let's find out and complete one such course live here on our Google browser. Allow me a minute while I'm just resharing my screen for my Google browser. As I told you the previous steps for logging in, so you just need to type skillsbuild.org. Look at my cursor over here, and we'll be just logging on to the SkillsBuild platform. It will ask me for the quadrant domain of high school student or educator. For the time being, we are going to accept high school student. We have to accept all the cookies if at any point of time, any cookies come. Click on high school student and there will be a login option enabled. Scroll down and you will be able to see that. Now there will be a little difference for the mobile users. For them, the interface will be a kind of a vertical one. Click with login with Google. Your Gmail IDs, which are onboarded with us, will get synced with it once you ended up putting your passwords for Google. It will open up the home page for SkillsBuild platform. Here, learning begins. So let's type a course name here. Let me ask for what is cybersecurity. Once I do that, it will offer me various recommendations of cybersecurity courses available on the platform. Let's complete one such course here. Let's go for how is cybersecurity used. All courses will be having the same interface. So go to activity. Once that is hit, it will offer me the bundle of courses available for what is how is cybersecurity used. This is actually a 30 minutes course for which we'll keep clicking on that. So I'm just showing you a walkthrough for this course. The content of the course will be that easy. You will be able to complete that in that minute. So when that is done, you will be able to also just download your certifications once that is completed. There will be a kind of a mini quiz that will be offered. So you need to complete with that mini quiz as well. Let me show you how you can just download a certificate for yourself. Allow me a minute. So once we have done with the course, it will show us a congratulations screen and we are good to go with showing up certificate. For that, we need to just click on the tag, which is there for IBM SkillsBuild. And under the Go to Activity tab, there will be an action button. We got to hit on that View Completion Certificate option. And once we do that, a certificate with our name will be coming. So we can download this certificate or share it on different platforms. We can just save it in a PDF form for our further use. So keep on learning and just bring so many certificates for yourself. There will be different courses that you can explore and bring up to your learning as well. Thank you, teachers, for joining in this session. Please let us know if you have any questions on the chat so that we can just further answer those questions. If we do not have any questions as such, we are good to close the session today. Thank you for joining in with us, teachers. We'll be just soon onboarding your email IDs, and then we'll be sharing the different steps that you can just go ahead and log in with us. Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead and a very good evening.